You guys ready for this tea time? Hey guys!
What's up?
So as you can see, we are doing things a little differently this week. We are taking a slight break from gaming, and I have done one of these Reddit videos before, so I'm gonna bring that back just for Thanksgiving week, and we're gonna be doing Am I the Asshole on Reddit. So let's dive in! Am I the asshole for refusing to participate in Thanksgiving dinner? A few weeks ago when discussing Thanksgiving plans, my husband and I agreed that we were just having dinner for us and our kids. Historically, we've hosted dinner for both our families. However, no one contributes even when they say they will. We purchase all the food, cook all the food, and clean up after. I just do not have the mental and physical energy for that this year. We went shopping and got a small turkey, a few sides, and the stuff to make 2 pies. Today I find out he bought another turkey yesterday and invited his family over for dinner. Even with the additional turkey, there isn't going to be enough food for everyone. I still wouldn't want to have this dinner if there was. I reminded my husband we had decided that it would just be us and our kids this year. That's what we prepared for and what I was expecting. I did not feel like or want to host dinner, so I asked him to call his family and let them know we were not hosting dinner today. I had already informed my side of the family soon after we'd made the decision together. He refused, saying he thought I just didn't want to invite my family. I don't know how he came to that conclusion since the discussion was just us and our kids, and that was what we had shopped for together. I told him if he chose to continue with having them over, I would stay in our room with a good book today, or maybe go into the office to work. He would need to be responsible for the cooking and cleanup. He responded that it would be rude for me to do that, and he can't believe I wouldn't want to spend the time with him and our kids. I do want to spend the time with our kids, though I'm not 100%. I want to spend it with him at the moment. I feel like I need some space. Am I the asshole? You guys, what do you think? Okay, it's pretty simple. No, you're not. She is not the asshole because, first of all, they had a conversation. They had an honest conversation that it would just be them and the kids. Simple things. Like, now, listen, cooking for that many people is a struggle. Like, everyone's gonna be hungry, okay, if you don't have enough food, and just, it's so much work. And if no one else is offering to help cook or clean, or with the, like, buying the ingredients, okay, like, I don't think people realize, like, this is, it's a huge thing, okay? You know, when you're hosting, it comes with a lot of responsibilities. So I don't think that she's the asshole for, not wanting to do that this year, because she said, I don't have the mental and physical energy for that. And even when, like, these families say that they'll help, they don't. And it's like, don't say something that you don't mean, you know what I mean? So, no, honestly, like, maybe just let him have his Thanksgiving with his family, take the kids somewhere. Or, like I said, like, yeah, just let him do the cooking and cleaning if he wanted to take that on, because she said that she didn't want to take that on this year. Let him do the cooking and cleaning, but you can eat the dinner. You can be there, but yeah, it's not on her. Not the asshole. He blatantly just disrespected her wishes and their whole conversation together. Don't gaslight her for saying, oh, like, I didn't think your family wanted to come. Like, no. Okay? Don't turn it out like that, like, I just didn't want my family to come. We said just us and the kids. Don't twist the words. Anyways, okay. Next one. Am I the asshole for kicking everyone out of my house during Thanksgiving dinner? I, 46 male, have been pretty unlucky when it comes to marriages. There were issues on both sides, but mainly mine. I'm disappointed to say I've been married 3 times and I didn't have kids with any of them. I met this wonderful woman, 31 female, at a poker game 6 years ago, and we have been together ever since, with no plans to get married or have kids either. My family, a very traditional, wealthy Christian and Republican family. All my brothers had to grow up marry a woman that would have to be a stay-at-home mom and have a family. While my girlfriend is an ex-Muslim from Russia who loves to party hard, a liberal, and used to be married to a woman, she's got tattoos, piercings, and drives a motorcycle. She also owns a successful car company where she customizes cars. I have no shame in saying she's a badass. Yes. My family very much dislikes her because how opposite of my family she is. They have never said anything rude to her or my face, but I know they talk about her behind her back. My girlfriend used to have a son with her ex-wife, but he sadly passed away before I met her. He passed 8 years ago. This was a time where she was heavily using and drinking. The reason for his death has nothing to do with her old habits, though. She never talks about her son or his death besides from showing me a few pictures and sharing 1 or 2 stories. Her and her ex-wife have a great friendship now, and her ex always shows me pictures of their son. This Thanksgiving, my mom said to my girlfriend, well, maybe if you didn't have a snow blizzard up your nose and didn't make 10 stops at a special pharmacy every week, I would be able to have a grandson from my youngest child. This was far out of line from her, and I could tell my girlfriend was in shock and was about to yell at everyone. But before she could, I went off on everyone at the dinner table, my aunts, uncles, nephews, and nieces, brothers and their wives. There's a lot of people here. And my mom and dad, people who didn't deserve to be yelled at. The Thanksgiving was hosted at our house, so we couldn't just up and leave. So as my girlfriend went outside to calm down, and I kicked everyone out of my house mid-dinner with no leftovers for anyone. Most of my family keeps texting me saying how it was incredibly rude of me to kick everyone out mid-dinner and how my girlfriend and I should apologize to everyone, but especially my mom for disrupting the dinner and kicking people out when it was hosted at our house. In all fairness, most of the people at the table have said something negative about my girlfriend behind her back before. So am I the asshole? No. No, that was just like an instant reaction because good for you. Good for you. It takes such a strong person, a strong character, one who has been through so much growth and independence and just awareness and just it just takes a strong person, a grown person to stand up to their family, because just because you're blood does not mean you get to have all this blatant disrespect come your way. And when your son is dating this woman, you're not allowed, like, you guys are at their house. This whole family is at their house because they're hosting it, and you want to throw negative comments and passive-aggressive controlling comments towards her? Like Ed Sheeran says, if you cross her, then you cross me, okay? Like, good on him for standing up for her and having her back, because it's already so hard and like intimidating to be around someone's like whole family who is definitely like very different from you. You just want to be accepted by your sweetheart's family, okay? It's intimidating, it's scary. She's been through her son's death. Like, have some empathy and compassion. And if they both don't want children, then they both don't want children. That's their choice. I don't see how that affects your family's lives. Like, I know, like, they do want the grandson, but you know what? Things don't always go your way, and life doesn't always turn out how you expect it to. But then to bring her past up, like the hardest things that she's been through, just to use it against her, is such a low blow. And how can you continue Thanksgiving at your house when that's all going on? It's like, no, we're done here. We can regroup once you like apologize for that, because yeah, there just needs to be a level of respect. So no, I don't believe that this person is the asshole. Next one. Am I the asshole for calling my daughter-in-law a petty bitch and taking the whole family to my place for Thanksgiving? Alright, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. I have a broken leg and use crutches. Now, my daughter-in-law is supposed to host this year. For some background, we don't get along that well. Personally, she annoys me due to her blowing things up for no reason. She is a drama queen. Any small slight towards her will make her go on and on. For example, I got her the wrong size of jeans one year and I have heard about for ages. I was one size off and she took it. I was calling her fat. I wasn't. That's why I kept the receipt in the gift in case it didn't fit. And I even asked my son her size so I would be close. I have more, but I think that example makes a point. They own 2 properties, a house in the suburbs and a mountain cabin. I got a text a few days ago asking me to bring my homemade pie. I told her I can't really cook due to my leg and I can bring a pre-made one. That wasn't good enough and we got into a text argument until she told me it was fine. Soon after she informed a family group chat that Thanksgiving will be at the mountain cabin, I can't get up there. It's not crutches safe at all. I sent the argument we had about the pie and called her a petty bitch for trying to exclude me from Thanksgiving. This caused a huge argument and the whole family is coming to my place tomorrow. My daughter will cook. I'm still getting calls and texts for stealing the family for Thanksgiving. Ooh, okay. The drama. Okay, let's run this back. So, yeah, it definitely seems like this girl is a little bit of a petty drama queen. I don't have too much info on other instances or background on her, so I'm only going based off of what I'm reading. But being a size off from jeans, like, she tried her best to find the right size. She asked her boyfriend, okay, see, I don't know, like, what their dynamic is, because she could be twisting the story on her end, and she could be acting petty towards her as well, but, like, playing it off, but I don't know. I'm just going off of this. But if you asked the boyfriend for the size, and, you know, some clothing stores do jean sizing differently. Like, some jeans in different brands are bigger and smaller, just depending on the style, and, like, you know, they just do sizing differently. It's not that deep to have a whole text fight about. She kept the receipt in the gift in case it didn't fit. I think that her getting really upset about her calling her fat is more of a her thing, because she seems to be a little bit insecure and touchy about her weight, and it kind of just made her feel bad when the jeans didn't fit. But ah, man, you know, she was trying to get you a gift, okay? And like I said, some jeans are just made to fit differently, and there's a lot of different body shapes out here, okay? But that's, like I said, the daughter-in-law's thing. She just needs to come to terms with herself, you know, be confident in herself, and just, yeah, like, take into account that jeans fit differently in different places. Now, moving the Thanksgiving to a mountain cabin instead of the suburbs, and asking for the homemade pie. Okay, girl, you can't always get what you want out of people. Asking for this homemade pie, like, her to go out of her way for the homemade pie. Alright, she's still offering to bring a pie. Like, I don't get it. Why are we getting so upset that we have to have a whole text fight about it? Her leg is not in the condition to be doing too much, okay? She just wants to do Thanksgiving easier this year. That's her preference. Let people do them, okay? I'm sorry you didn't get your homemade pie from her, but you're asking her for the favor, and she's still willing to bring a pie. So I just, yeah, the daughter-in-law just seems a little chaotic for that, to be fighting about that. There's just no reason for that. And if she did move the Thanksgiving to the mountain cabin to be petty towards her, that's really kind of fucked up. And, yeah, I would be upset too if that was intentional. Or, like, I would just maybe have a conversation, like, well, I don't know. This daughter-in-law just seems, like, very argumentative. So I don't even know if a conversation with her would, like, help too much. Like, can we do it in the suburbs? Because, like, obviously my leg. It definitely is giving unthoughtful with the daughter-in-law making it in the mountain cabin. If it's not petty, then it's unthoughtful and just inconsiderate a bit. OP didn't have to call her the petty bitch and send the argument with her out, okay? I don't know. I feel like it just could be handled differently than that. We don't need to, like, stoop to her dramatic level and be petty back. Let's not stoop to that level. Don't need to cause a bigger thing than what it is. I mean, I would be upset too because, like, I obviously want to do the Thanksgiving. Now, she can come to their Thanksgiving, maybe. But she's obviously pissed off if she's sending calls and texts about stealing the family for Thanksgiving. There just needs to be an understanding and a resolution there, or just, like, cut each other off and just do things separately from each other, because that is too much to be dealing with these text fights about pie. Something that small. Life is too short to be stressing about things like that. And for someone to be treating you like that, if it were a petty thing to, like, move it to the mountain just so that you couldn't come comfortably, that's kind of, like, messed up. I'm gonna say that they're slightly an asshole. OP is slightly an asshole, and then also no, not the asshole. Because, like I said, they didn't have to stoop down to that level, and just maybe you can just talk to your family and be like, I feel so hurt that she would move it to the mountain cabin with my leg like this, and be like, we had a disagreement about pie. I just don't understand why she's being like that. You know, there's a way to go about things, but you don't gotta send all these receipts and call her a petty bitch and stuff. Like, come on. Let's just be grounded and leveled. But like I said, people aren't perfect. But yeah, so yes and no. Slightly yes and no. What do you guys think? We'll do one more. Am I the asshole for deciding to spend Thanksgiving apart from my boyfriend? So I, 21 female, and my boyfriend, 23 male, have been dating for 4 years and just bought our first home together over the summer. We have not spent a Thanksgiving apart since we started dating, but we have always spent it with my family. I know this sounds bad, but let me explain. My family owns a compound about 4 hours away from where we live, and it is a 100+ year tradition that all extended family, grandparents and their siblings, plus all of their descendants, gather at the farm for a week every Thanksgiving. About 50+ people. It's a huge deal, and the one time a year I get to see this side of my family. We eat meals outside around the fire every night, ride four-wheelers, drink, catch up, and just genuinely enjoy being outside with my family. I have never missed this in my entire life. This is so special to me, and when I first brought my boyfriend 4 years ago, he fell in love with it just as much as me. He's family to my family now. Well, this year he decided he wanted to spend Thanksgiving Day with his family and go to the farm for maybe 2 days afterwards. I agreed to this without complaint, as I felt guilty for keeping him from his family every year. Well, with Thanksgiving approaching, I have had a knot in my stomach every single time I have thought about missing out on this special time with my family, as most people leave the day after Thanksgiving and we would barely have time to see anyone. I really try to push my feelings aside, but I just know that if I go to his family's event, I will be impatient the whole time, just waiting until we can leave so that we can get on the road and head towards the farm. I brought this up to my boyfriend today and completely broke down. I let him know how heavy this has been weighing on me. He was so sweet and absolutely supportive of me heading out Wednesday night and said that he would just meet me there Thursday night. I'm very appreciative of how understanding he is about how much this tradition means to me. Plus, I told him that I would be willing to spend every single Christmas with his family for the rest of my life if that's what it takes to be able to make it to the farm. I have no bad feelings towards him for deciding to stay with his family. We see them 1 to 2 times a month, but I am worried that his family will not be as understanding as him. On top of that, I'm feeling really guilty for not being able to push my emotions aside for long enough to attend one event. Okay, this last sentence, it says, so would I decided to spend Thanksgiving separately and skipped his family event? That question seems a little confusing with, like, but anyways, so I'm guessing, am I the asshole for, like, you know, wanting to spend Thanksgiving separately and skip his event? I think with this, it really just comes down to conversation, communication, and understanding. You know, every relationship, there needs to be an understanding between the both of you and how you both function, whether it's like everyday life, holidays, how you are, like you know, time spent apart, like what, you know, just there needs to be a system that's understood by the both of you, so there are no hard feelings or like, oh, like, are they gonna be like upset and stuff. Like, instead of just wondering, just have the conversation with them and just come to new conclusions together. Compromise, okay? Now sometimes people can't reach compromises and maybe just don't mesh, like your lives don't mesh together, lifestyles don't mesh, and that's no one's fault, but it just sometimes doesn't work out that way. But in this case, you just need to have a conversation with him and communicate. I'm talking like as if I'm talking to the person who wrote this, but I don't even think that they're gonna see this, but if he's fine with you guys going to his place for Christmas every year and then you guys going to his place for Thanksgiving every year, then that's your guys' system and that works for you guys. But of course, like if he expresses like, oh, can we like alternate every other year? Like, I want you to spend Thanksgiving with me and my family too. His family will get used to it as long as like they get to see him every now and then, right? Like, it just depends on how everyone's feeling about it. Of course you want to be with your family on Thanksgiving or any holiday. It's not something that would be so frowned upon, you know? Like, I'm sure that his family would understand, right? And it only happens once a year, so it's not like it's asking too much, right? But like I said, find an agreement, and he seemed to be okay with it, saying like he would meet her there later, and he gets to also spend time with his family, so I don't see an issue there if you both are fine with it. Not the asshole. But alright guys, I'm gonna wrap that up here today. Let me know how you guys are liking the Am I the Asshole series, Tea Time, and any thoughts that you had on any of these Am I the Asshole Reddit columns. If you disagree with me, I want to hear any thoughts that you guys have. And you guys know what to do. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. And I'll see you guys next time.